Jamela or Cieara, would you be able to sort of give an example of when that sort of clicked for you, when you figured out that this is an internal success that we're finding and not an external sort of thing that we are trying to do?
I think for me, one of the biggest experiences was me transitioning careers. I was a classroom teacher, and then I transitioned into the tech curriculum development world, and so that was a big change. And so for me, I just realized how internally I felt so balanced and centered after that transition, and it just resonated with my overall happiness. And it just let me know that sometimes you will be in an uncomfortable place, but that's okay, because that's where growth and all of the things that you need to be the best version of yourself are really in the process of gearing itself up to be fully on the front and center stage of everything. So during that moment of uncomfortableness, while I was thinking about the transition, actively in the transition, just all of those experiences really just set me up for where I'm at today, and just let me know that it's okay to pivot. It's okay to give yourself time to pause and give yourself a delay, no matter what other people are thinking, no matter what other people are inquiring about your current state, your future. You have to do what's right for you and move at a tempo that just makes you feel good in all aspects of your life.
Yeah, and that makes a ton of sense. And I think that especially when people are in a phase of transition, it feels like a failure. It feels like, well, I can't do anything because my being right now feels so frazzled, because you're sort of taking yourself out of where your comfort zone has been for so long. So if any of you are sort of confident in sharing what for you was that big sort of failure, and what did you learn from it?
I had a response prepared for this, and my failure was what I felt like at the time, losing my job. But I'll say this week, this week alone has felt like a failure. I had to take off a week, and a week of work. I know that sounds very small, but when you are in the process of trying to learn executive functioning skills and learn how to show up every day with ADHD symptoms, with sometimes anxiety or depression symptoms, it can feel like a failure when you're you know what, I'm grieving right now. I want to show up Sunday for Grow Day. I may need to take a couple of days off work or the whole week off work so that I can show up and restore myself for the things that matter. And it took up until an hour ago for me to literally hone in on the fact that I'm not a failure for needing accommodations. I'm not a failure for needing extra support. I'm not a failure for needing my GrowCery Garden community and needing to show up every single Monday, or needing to show up and have a community. I'm not a failure for needing people that understand me and see that my brain functions in a very diverse way, and it's okay to be around other diverse people and be open about that. I'm just now embodying the fact that it's nothing broken about me.
Okay, so something for me. So I applied for my doctoral program, let's say this, fall 2022. I actually applied for a doctoral programs previously in 2021, and I didn't get into the programs that I thought that I wanted, but I learned so much between those rejections, my work experiences, my personal experiences, that led me to where I'm at today. So it's sometimes that saying goes, rejection is God's protection. I really do believe that rejection and all of the life lessons that came with that experience, and just still having the perseverance and then the heart and openness and mindset to be okay, well, it didn't work out that round. There will always be another chance, and everything worked out the way it's supposed to be. And I'm here in DC, things are aligned, and I'm thriving. So sometimes when things don't work out the first time, it's okay. Just go for it again, and just have a mindset and a spirit of openness, and things will work out the way it's supposed to.
Failing for me used to feel it sucked. But I think failing is some of the best things that can happen. I failed at my last relationship before my marriage because I thought that I was noble for investing in someone who I thought I can change. And I didn't realize how manipulative and controlling that was. I thought that was a failure. I thought that when I dropped out of school to pursue my art career and things got slow, that I failed. I thought that when COVID hit and I lost $30,000 worth of contracts in a week, I thought I failed. When my last apartment burned down, I thought I was looking through the rubble of everything, every piece of designer clothing, every accolade, every award, everything that made me so successful in ashes. I thought I failed. But I didn't. It was only like lessons. These were only lessons. They were lessons to, again, be more truthful, be more sustainable, move at a pace of peace.
So in those moments where you feel your lowest of your low, what strategies, what advice, what words of wisdom would you share with anybody who's going through a tough time right now?
Oh man, yeah. You guys are like pouring into me right now. So trigger warning, I'm about to talk about Steve Harvey. So I know, his name not like that in the streets right now. But Steve Harvey said two things that I think about so much. And I'm like, some people you're like, I'm not gonna learn nothing from them. But these things are like stuck with me. Number one, he talked about this idea of like, he was like, if you're going through hell, why would you stop in the middle of hell? It's hell. It's hot. We gotta get out of here. We can't stop right here. And I'm like, you're right. I would stop in hell. And then another thing he said that always, and I think these were all, these might all both within the same Earn Your Leisure interview. So watch that Earn Your Leisure interview. But he was like, you have a 100% success rate of surviving the worst things that have ever happened to you in your life up until this point. No matter how bad it was, how much you felt like you were never gonna get out of it, you did. And statistics are like really on your side right now. And I'm like, oh man, Steve Harvey, you're correct. You're correct. I also have a shamanic practice. And one thing I always leave with people when I'm working with them is to really sort of reframe how, like, what this actually sort of looks like right now. And remember that if it's already happened, it's already happened. You can't go back and change it. If it's happening, you can't go back and change what started it. You just can't. The only thing you're left with after what actually happens is how you feel about what happened or what's happening. The only thing that you can control, and the strongest thing that you can control, is how you feel. That's it. That's in your power. That's already there. Now, there may be exterior things that come in and put you in a place, in a space, in a reality that is not coming from within you. And all of us are going to fall into that. It's just the ebb and flow of life. But remember, when you're moving at a pace of peace and you controlling the things that you can control, and you're taking responsibility for you and your actions and how you feel and how you show up, I promise there's nothing you can get in your way. And it's very like, I know that sounds very like new money, like bootstrap Negro advice, but I promise you, like, if you can control the feeling, if you can transmute whatever is happening right now, it's yours and no one can take it away from you at all.
Somebody was asking what steps you can take to shift your feelings around failure.
Understand and recognize that failure is not a part of your identity. It's just something that is sometimes a part of the process. So keep your head high, keep speaking the positivity that you want in your life into existence. and just realize this is sometimes just par for the course, and just, it's only up from here.
So yes, now we are talking to our talented team members from the GrowCery Garden team. This part of the session is about unlocking your creative thinking and generating really unique and innovative ideas to either boost your productivity for the quarter ahead, or you can sort of share what milestone you're looking ahead to, probably for the next grow day or for the next quarter or for the next year.
So one of the questions, it keeps updating, but one of the questions was how to identify the difference between anxiety and intuition. And for me, what I would answer that one as is intuition is always going to help you to grow and to excel, and it's going to help you to take that next step towards whatever your goal is, where anxiety is actually there as a depressant. So like if you're going to continue to like harp on anxiety, it's only going to take you 2 steps back instead of taking you a step forward. So your intuition is there for protection, where your anxiety is there as a hindrance to your abilities.
Pay attention to what's actually happening like in your industry. Invest in it. Get used to investing in what you want to do right now. Get used to investing in yourself now, and invest in knowledge. Just take time and learn. Get the atmosphere. See what you really like. Learn about what you want to make. Figure out where to start. Figure out how to learn more. If you're always figuring out how to learn more, your clothing line will be successful.
I would say that if you're starting a business in general, there are a few steps that just go for any business, because Sam, I saw that you added like a lot of different businesses, which is great. We love serial entrepreneurs. You got to start with one thing though, baby. You got to start with one thing. If it's going to be the clothing line, then it's got to be the clothing line. If it's going to be the nonprofit, then it has to be a nonprofit. I will say that in my experience, because I do help with a lot of small business development, where a lot of people make mistakes is in the fact that they're splitting their time way too much. They're spreading themselves way too thin. And you have to choose one to build and be consistent about it, because consistency is going to be your best friend. And that's not consistency as in you need to do it every single day, and you need to eat, live, breathe, and poop it out. Nobody's saying that. You just need to be consistent with, this is what I'm building right now.
I completely agree with the focus piece. I think you might be doing yourself a disservice if you don't put enough energy and effort into a single thing. And you spread yourself too thin. So just consider that as you pursue these different ventures. Embrace iteration, and I think you can also apply that to like the physical and print design space as well. I often get caught up in trying to deliver things that are perfect, and I'll spend too much time trying to find the perfect name or the perfect, or design the perfect website. And in those times, I'm doing myself a disservice, because I'm doing all this stuff behind the scenes, and what I'm not doing is actually selling a product and delivering something to customers. So I think don't get caught up with trying to find the perfect thing. I think you'll grow and you'll learn from this first line, and maybe you'll have a couple after that. But if you just embrace iteration and know whatever I release now doesn't have to be the final thing in 10 years. Like, I can always change. I can always evolve the brand. I can always, alter the look, the feel, all of that stuff. Then I think it'll make you more willing to deliver stuff, get it in front of people, and then start establishing that feedback loop and learning like what actually works with people. What do people like that I'm delivering? What do people not like? And then you can start to refine your product and eventually get to a point where you have something that you feel really confident about. So just start. Don't worry about getting it right away. You're gonna make mistakes, guaranteed. So just get something out there.
Sam just said, should I have a team with it? That's my only thing I was going to add, because I realized that I can't do everything by myself, and me having a support system, like a team of people in place that have the knowledge on the things that I'm trying to accomplish. Even like with me being in the beauty industry, like having beauty mentors and just people that are already in positions that I want to get in or that I'm already in. that definitely helps. Just closed mouths don't get fed, literally. So anything you don't know, just reach out.
So I'll add, for having a team versus doing it on your own, it depends on how much capital you have to start your business. If you don't have any capital, you can't hire anybody. Like, let's be real. So, it costs money to hire high quality talent, and it's good talent costs a lot more. So with that, then your initial, I'd say my first 3 years were on my own, and it was all sweat equity. And sweat equity is like going out, doing what you have to grow your business. Like, you can look online to find out what are the few things that you can do to hone your energy, and what things work for you. Very first thing that you need to be doing is know your why. Don't just start all these random businesses. Know why you're starting your business. Know why you want X amount of dollars to be able to do whatever it is. Because if you're going through saying, hey, I want to have so much money. Okay, why do you want that money? Or is your business here to actually help anybody? Because if your business is here to help you, then that business is not going to be successful. Like, the business, anything that any of us do is about helping somebody achieve a goal. So, come with that. Like, out of all the businesses that you stated, like, figure out what that is, figure out what feeds your soul, figure out what feeds your energy, and then go from there on selecting one business, and then from that business, other things can come from it.
Yes, I also want to piggyback really quick, because this is our last question off of what Lauren was saying about having the capital. And oftentimes, especially with people who start their own businesses, your capital in the beginning, before you can even pay to buy a team, is going to be in your sweat equity. Because capital can come in a lot of different forms. But don't automatically count yourself out as not being able to have a team because you don't have money. That is a big flaw. That is something to consider when you are building a team, that maybe one day you really want to pay them. But if you need help and you can't start right now, there are people who are willing to work with you on a volunteer basis. You don't have to pay people necessarily to work with you with money. You can pay them with exposure. You could pay them, but don't be like weird about it. Okay, it's not like, oh, we'll pay you in exposure. Don't be weird about it. But you can also pay people in knowledge. You have a certain skill set and that somebody could benefit from, and they enjoy learning from you. You can barter. If somebody has a service and you need help with something, that you could be like, I'll do this for you and you could do this for me. We scratch each other's back. There are situations where somebody might need volunteer help for like a one-off thing. That's fine too. But you have to get creative, because a lot of the times when people are starting out being entrepreneurs, there is no money to go around, and that's fine. But you have to really think about what way you can get your help and how to maximize everybody's time, not just yours, not just as one person, how you maximize everybody's time and everybody's efforts, and how you can reward and be rewarded for that exchange of energy.